Many people say they were lost and depressed and nothing was going good.
What? They say.
Then they found this.
Sounds like alcohol. Pills. No, that's true love. True love. Testify.
They say the things people say when they talk about this gives them many good feelings.
Good feelings? Yes, that's what we said. Drugs. Nah, it's emotions. A lot of emotions. Singing, dancing, party. Testify.
They say this is the best guidance for humanity.
Is that so?
And it comes from a book.
Please tell me about this book. Please, tell us. What book is that? Where's the book? Let me borrow your copy. Tell us about this book.
Now, how about I told you this book was written in Ameringland, Rusrabia.
Where in the world? Please say it again.
Ameringland, Rusrabia.
What? Never heard of.
In the Chinese language.
That's why we don't know. In the Chinese language. That's China.
They say that the best part of the guidance is the part explained by Hanmal Ahmashaf.
What did you say his name is? What's the name?
Hanmal Ahmashaf.
Please say it again.
They say the best part of the guidance is the part explained by Hanmal Ahmashaf. Hanmal Ahmashaf.
Yeah, let me borrow your copy.
The book was completed in the 1960s, 70s, 80s, 90s.
When's the date? That's a date?
1960s, 70s, 80s, 90s.
Which one? Which decade?
All of them.
You've got to keep This sounds like such a reliable source.
And the name of the book is Books.
Please. This gets better and better. Okay. Let me get that last part one more time.
The name of the book, the title of the book is Books.
Yeah, I told you it was drugs. Look, he's on them right now. I don't know what you think. No, thank you. I'm good. No way. I don't want that. No, I'm good. No. That's all right. I'm all right. Keep that to yourself. No, thank you.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Everybody wants to feel good. And it's important that the good feelings that we have are genuine and are real. And they're not just something that sounds good or seems good or feels good for the moment, but in the long run, it's very damaging. We want to make sure that the things that we take in are accurate and really beneficial, and not just something that tricks us into thinking that it is, while it's truly destroying us.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to matters of hereafter.
Shaitan, stay trying to pull a fast one.
Now, the things you heard sounded good in the beginning, but then the details exposed the reality. And this is what we find with many things in life. If we slow down and take the time to see if something is truly beneficial or just a hoax.
But watch out. Pay attention.
You know, they use the saying, wolf in sheep's clothing.
Mm-hmm.
And this really does come true in many ways. And with the tricks of the shaitan, he uses smiles to cover some of the worst of sins.
Yeah, he does.
And this is another example of that.
How is this an example of that? How is this an example of that? How is this an example of that?
And we were told that the book was written in Maryland, Rusrabia.
You made that. Never heard of that. It's not that. You made that in China.
America is one place.
That's true. That is correct.
England is a different place.
Mm-hmm.
Russia is a different place. And Arabia is a different place. So this is 4 different places. It's not one. Someone just wrapped them up together to make a sandwich. And if you didn't know, then this could be very deceptive.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
But then we were told that it's written in the Chinese language.
So what?
Oh, this is another alarm that details exposed, because in America, the main language is not Chinese.
That's true.
In Russia, the main language is not Chinese. In Arabia, the
Arabic.
main language is not Chinese. And in England, most of the people do not speak the Chinese language. So if the book was written in any one of these 4 places, or in the sandwiched 4 place that was mentioned, Why would it be in a foreign language?
You got a point. That's true.
And then we were told that the best part of this guidance is the part that is explained by who? What was his name?
Hanmal Chef.
Hanmal Ahmashaf.
Yeah. That's never heard of him either.
Hanmal Ahmashaf?
Mm-hmm.
If you couldn't figure this one out, Ahmed ibn Hanbal is one person. May Allah have mercy on him.
Ameen.
Imam Shafi'i is another person. May Allah have mercy on him.
Ameen.
Imam Malik is a third person. May Allah have mercy on him.
Ameen.
And Imam Abu Hanifa is a fourth person. May Allah have mercy on him.
Ameen.
This sandwiched name is of a person that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Rather, these are 4 different great minds and 4 different perspectives. So once again, for the person who knows, it's clear and the details exposed. But for the person who doesn't know, it can be very deceptive.
Trick something up a sleeve.
And then we were told that the book was completed in the year 1960s, 70s, 80s, 90s. It was completed in 4 decades.
It took a long time to write, huh?
This one should be easy for all people to understand.
What do you mean?
Obviously, something was completed in 1 decade, and then something else completed in another, and something else in another, and something else in another. But it can't be one thing completed 4 different times.
Gotcha.
I get it.
And lastly, we were told that the title, the name of the book is Books. The name of the book is Books.
A library.
Now, this could be a play on words, granted, but when we see the evidence right before it over the 4 decades, it's clear that it's not. This is clearly not one book, but rather it's a collection of books put into one.
A library.
And once again, if you know the details, then things are exposed and made clear. But if you're not familiar with the information, then the details won't help you. And it can be one of the tricks of the shaitan that he uses to deceive and misguide people.
That is the truth.
Yeah.
So true.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty tricky. That's why they didn't want the book. That's interesting points. Yeah, that's true. But who cares? Nobody's gonna fall for that these days. No one's gonna fall for that. It's not gonna happen. Who's gonna fall for that?
So, but why would this matter for us when we're searching for the best guidance? If this is it, and obviously it's got a lot of issues.
That is true.
What book would have this kind of problems, but still be able to deceive many people?
Pay attention.
Well, to those who know, it's already known and I don't have to say. But to those who don't know, you should be aware that this is similar to the history of the Bible.
Not my Bible.
The Bible wasn't written by one person. Rather, it was written by, some say, about 40 different authors.
Says who? Bible scholars.
And it wasn't written in one place. Rather, it was written in many different places. And in the books of the New Testament, we see this. With many of the books that are inside of the Bible today actually come from personal letters from Paul to many different people, whether it's the people of Galatia or the people of Corinth or the Romans. He was writing personal letters to these people, and today those letters are inside of the book that they call the Bible, and as a whole is called by many the Word of God.
Come on, what?
A personal letter becomes the Word of God.
Says who? Bible scholars. Bible scholars.
Some of the other details are also connected to this, because the people who were with Jesus, Isa alayhi salam, the Messiah on whom be peace, were poor Palestinians, and they were Aramaic speakers. However, today, when we open up the English Bible, that text that we're reading was taken from Greek. The manuscripts that wrote those books, the manuscripts that those books were written in, were in the Greek language. And it was from the Greek that the English was taken. So when we're reading words that are attributed to Isa alayhi salam, to Jesus on whom be peace, in the English language, they're really taken from the Greek language. And the Greek language is a language that was foreign to the people that those stories are supposed to be about.
Yeah. Says who? Bible scholars. That's true. But people can learn a language. We learn Arabic. Somebody else learning Chinese, or Japanese, or Spanish, German.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What's the difference?
Yeah.
Yes,
It's the truth.
If a person wanted to write the most impactful moments of their life and their legacy and their life story and their life message to their people or to others, it would seem that they would want to write that in the language that they know, in the language that they can best express themselves, and in the language that their community would be able to take the legacy and understand it properly in.
Yes, indeed.
However, when it comes to the books of the New Testament, we find that these Palestinian Aramaic speaking people that the books are about are speaking and expressing and leaving the message of the Messiah in the Greek language.
What's wrong with Greek? It's not about that. It's about them, man. For real. Why would they do that?
Seems strange. Like the Chinese coming from
A merry land of Rus Arabia.
Merry
I get
England.
Suspicious. Yeah, that's strange.
And then we have the issue of the 4 different perspectives.
4 witnesses. That's good.
Pay attention.
Today, you will have many Christians who will tell you a story about Isa alayhi salam, and they want to claim that it's the gospel. They want to claim that it's the gospel. They want to claim that it's the Injil that is mentioned with the Muslims. They want to claim that this is the guidance that the Messiah came with, and they have it recorded in their books.
The Passion of Christ. The Passion of Christ.
However, the story that they tell you doesn't exist even in their books. Because what they've done is exactly what we've seen in the statement or in the false name that was given of Hanmal Ahmashaf. This is not one person. Rather, this is 4 different people cut up into make a sandwich of a name or a salad of a name, which doesn't exist. And it's the same thing that we find with these people who narrate this one gospel that doesn't exist. Rather, what they've done is taken 4 different books and piled them together into one. And they tried to tell the story as if
That's so true.
is what was mentioned.
Preachers teaching. Preachers teaching.
But this story they tell doesn't exist.
Says who? Bible scholars.
Instead, it's a pieced together narrative from different perspectives. Each author said what they saw.
Says who? Bible scholars.
And so when the preachers come today and they put this all together, or they make movies and they put this all together, the person should know that in the details, this presentation that they're giving you is another deception. And the clarity is in true guidance. And this is also seen in the dates. how most of the biblical scholars would say that the Gospel of Mark is written in the 60s or 70s, while the Gospel of John is written in the 90s or even after the year 100. But this gap is about a 40-year difference.
That could be a lifetime. Different states of mind.
40 years from the time that the first book was written till the time that the fourth book of the gospel was written. So these four different perspectives, these four different books spread out over a 40-year period, about a 40-year period, telling four different stories that today get piled into one and are given to the people as a guidance for the hereafter.
That's so true.
But don't panic. Don't worry. We're not left like this, because there is a book that doesn't have the issues that come with this one we've mentioned. There is a guidance that doesn't have the problems of trickery and deception. There is a way that has clarity and shows the true path, and it gives you the true details of life that have ups and downs, serious times and happy times, times where you need to focus and other times when you can celebrate. Not that you should lose your focus in celebration.
Go ahead, bro.
But it's a balanced, clear way. Let's compare this other claim to this one that we looked at today. And let's see how this other guidance and this other book compares to the issues that we've raised today. And let's see if this other path is the one we can trust, our here and hereafter. See you soon. Insha'Allah.